Hi guys, Ozzy and Yelena here again. If you've never been to my channel, welcome, and if you have, then welcome back. Today I'm going to be putting a little bit of a spin on things, and we're going to be talking the moon and astrology. If you know me, I love astrology, and it really has helped to be a tool to navigate me through my life, and I wanted to share that with all of you. So I'm going to be making monthly videos that are new and full moon energy reports. So if you like this type of content, hit that subscribe button below. Make sure that you hit the bell next to it to be notified of all the videos that I post weekly. And let's go ahead and get into the content. All right, thanks for joining this little powwow with me today. Now, let's go ahead and get started. So I've had a lot of people say to me, what the heck's up with the full and the new moon, Lena? They happen every month. What is the big deal, right? But there is significance from month to month to month, the energy constantly changing. And what you need to know is that the planets and our luminaries, the sun and the moon, are always changing positions in the sky, which changes the energy and shifts things for us. So when they move through the sky, they land in different constellations, which are the zodiac signs. Each zodiac sign is an archetype that represents many different things, and it allows us to interpret these things astrologically to talk about what energies are coming in and how they're going to affect us in our lives. So it helps us to better navigate these energies. Now, disclaimer, we never want to give our power up to astrology and feel that we have absolutely no control over these energies whatsoever. We just use astrology as a tool to help us to better navigate things, so it makes the energies a little bit easier for us rather than us kicking and screaming and fighting against them without knowing what the heck is going on, right? So on Monday, July 20th at 1:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have our second new moon in Cancer this month. And while that might just be a bunch of gibberish to some of you, I'm going to explain, so give me a chance. We usually only have one full moon and one new moon in 1 month. So it's already a rare occurrence that we're having two new moons in the month of July. Even rarer being so that both of these new moons are falling in the exact same zodiac sign. So it's a little bit strange, and to top off this rarity, the first new moon in the series was an eclipse. So that makes it even more significant. Now, yes, this is happening in the sign of Cancer. No, you don't have to be a Cancer for this to affect your energy at all. It affects every single zodiac sign in a different area of their life, okay? So that's the lowdown on all of that. Now, Cancer is that motherly, intuitive, and nurturing sign. So it also rules the emotions and our inner world. We might be feeling a little bit more on the emotional side this month, or at least more in tune with our intuition and our emotions. And new moons also represent the beginning of a cycle. It is the beginning of a 28-day cycle where the moon travels through all 12 of the zodiac signs. So this is a really good time to set new intentions, maybe to initiate something new in your life, or to start a dream board or goal setting or whatever. This is the perfect time for that versus the full moons, which are usually all about endings. Now, with all that said, I've compiled a list of 5 things that you must know about this new moon in Cancer. So we're gonna go ahead and begin with number 1. You might be much more concerned at this time with your safety and personal security. So basically, this could be your own personal security or that of the ones that are closest to you, your loved ones, your family. Cancer being the sign that rules just that, safety, security, our home life, our family, things like that really coming to the forefront right now. And we're living in unprecedented times. I'm actually really sick of hearing that word, but not sure why I used it. But it's true, we are. And it's a reflection of exactly what's going on in our personal lives right now. And I'll touch a little bit more on that later, but we're going through these times where we're receiving all of this information that's extremely confusing. We aren't really able to decipher what's true and what's not with the pandemic. We wanna make sure that our personal security and safety is at the forefront, as well as those of our loved ones, our family, our friends. But we're really not exactly sure what direction to turn or what to believe. We're also coming up against our unemployment fund running out, as well as a lot of the different federal aid programs that were going on with this pandemic. And it just matches up so true with this new moon. We're wondering what is going to happen with the stimulus. We really have no idea. Some of us are really concerned about our personal safety and health, as well as being concerned about our finances and our jobs. And that is a pretty commonplace feeling right now amongst all of us. Now, this might also be happening on a much deeper level in some of your personal lives as well. Now, I won't get into too many examples, but this is something that you'll be able to decipher if it is directly affecting you. This could really be amping up stress and anxiety about 10 notches on the Richter scale. And also, it's just nice to know about these astrological energies so that we can know that this is something that's affecting us as a collective, as a whole, and that you are not alone. Now, it's really important that we stay as grounded as possible right now and try to stay out of those fear-based thought processes of loss, scarcity, fear of the unknown, things like that, survival type thought processes. And I know that can be really difficult, so make sure that you're doing your grounding practices, getting outside, walking barefoot. We'll talk a little bit more about those types of things later. You may even see that you have revelations at this time of different things, changes, ways that you are able to change your life and shift things so that you get that personal security that you need to make you feel safe, to make your family feel safe. So pay attention to any type of epiphany, little thoughts that come up inside of your mind, and maybe try to explore them a little bit deeper to see what you need to do to feel as safe and secure as you can. Number 2, emotional detox. So if you've noticed a lot of different patterns, addictions, habits, behaviors, thought processes, even different types of psychological baggage coming up to the surface lately, do not be alarmed because, honey, you are not the only one. The sign of Cancer represents our ability to heal as well as tap into our deep inner world inside of ourselves. Try your hardest not to suppress these things that are coming up inside of you or run away from them or maybe even use any type of escapism tactics to cover up the discomfort that you're experiencing right now and really do some soul searching, deep dive. These things are just guiding posts helping you to see what might need to be healed deep down inside of you or maybe changes that need to take place out in your outer world. I always like to say that our emotions are like a compass. So they're navigating you in different directions to help you see these types of things. So use your emotions as a tool, befriend them. Do not allow them to become your enemy. So we are going through what I like to call a purge, an emotional purge, a detox right now. Yeah, I know that doesn't really sound like very much fun, but there are a couple things, like I mentioned earlier, that you can do to feel a sense of groundedness. Taking things like salt baths, walking barefoot, getting outside in nature always helps so much. Wrap your arms around a tree, as crazy as that sounds, you guys. I know it sounds crazy, but these things really do help. Even just having self-care evenings. Hey, I'm sure I don't have to twist anybody's arm to eat chocolate. Chocolate is one of the most grounding foods that you can put inside your body. Light some candles, give yourself a pedicure. Do anything to make yourself feel comfortable inside of your body. Honestly, also, emotions are just energy. Everything in this universe is energy, and energy is traveling through our body. And we want to make sure that we're getting lots of exercise because when we have these purges, these negative emotions that come up and out, sometimes they can get stuck inside of our body, which doesn't ever help at all. And it can cause a lot of emotional disharmony. It can cause depression. It can cause racing thoughts. And these are never things that we want to experience. Another thing that it can cause is different physical ailments. So it might just manifest into some type of disease, or physical ailments, like I said, which we really don't ever want to get it to that point. So what do? Physical exercise really helps with these types of things because we're moving that energy up and out of the body. So yoga is amazing. And yes, I am gonna put a plug in right now. I have a lot of yoga classes on my channel, anywhere ranging from beginner to intermediate level. Go take a class. It's gonna help you. Or any type of exercise or anything like that. Even if you just wanna get outside, get on your feet, take your dog or just yourself for a walk in your neighborhood. I promise you guys, this will help you tenfold. Also, don't be afraid to let those tears roll, let those emotions come up and out. That's how we pass these things through our system. And don't be afraid to let go of the past, including any type of emotions associated with grief, resentment, or anger. Let them come up and out. Now, no matter what stage in life we're in, at any point, I think that we all have room to evolve more in the department of emotional intelligence, right? I think that that's something that's really lacking on our planet nowadays. We were never taught emotional intelligence in school, and a lot of times our family life and society as a whole really breeds a lack in that department. And I think during this time, we have an opportunity, especially during this new moon, to really turn over a new leaf and mature in ways that we never thought was possible. So just really watch the way you say things right now. Watch so that you don't overreact. Try doing things in a different way than you did before. Let's try and change our habits and our patterns. And let's see if we can change ourselves altogether, helping with this emotional purge that we're going through. All right, my friends, on to number 3. Stop ignoring all the signs that your intuition's trying to give you and make the darn changes that it's telling you to make. Now, the Cancer archetype, it represents a very strong intuition, that inner knowing, that gut feeling that really guides you in your life. Cancer also is what we call a cardinal sign. Now, all of the cardinal signs, they represent the changes of the season. So Cancer representing the entrance into summer. And it is a metaphor because it also represents a season of change and the changes that are going on within our lives. So if you're not too distracted by everything and all the craziness that's going on in the world, then you may have noticed that your intuition has gotten very strong lately. And there's no coincidence in that. Your intuition is trying to guide you to that X marks the spot on the pirate's map that leads you to the treasure. And while it might not look like the best treasure, it might not represent that gold that you think you're gonna find right away, I promise you that this is leading you to a better spot in life, a better spot to the person that you're becoming, okay? Now, we've all been going through some major shifts this year, and yes, we do have shifts every single year, but it's always great to touch on these things again, and 2020 seems to be a little bit more pivotal than usual. With these big shifts that occur in our life, it tends to throw us out of whack. Okay, so life is like a roller coaster ride. You gotta ebb and flow with these changes that come in. But yes, it throws us out of balance, and some of us deal with that better than others. And while we try to find this new balance, it can be very difficult. But what's inevitable with these shifts is that we realize changes need to be made, hands down. Whether we wanna make the changes or not, they must be made. And the universe has this funky way of allowing you many opportunities to make these changes. And it has a lot to do with your intuition, especially during Cancer season, where it shows you over and over and over again different signs that are leading you to changes that you must make. But a lot of times we ignore these things. And like I said, the universe has a very interesting way of making the changes for us if we decide not to do it ourselves. All right, now adding to the rarity of this new moon, it's also happening in opposition, which in astrology means directly across the sky, from the planet of Saturn. And oh, the joys. What this means is grandfather Saturn, he brings things including limitations, delays, restrictions, more so of a harsh, hard reality, hard lessons, and just many other things. So Saturn is really not all that bad. He puts these restrictions and he puts these roadblocks in our life and these delays and things like that. because he's trying to teach us something, right? Just like your old grandfather would be trying to teach you. So what an opposition means in astrology is that one side wants one thing or the other side wants another thing. There's these two opposing forces that just don't seem to mesh. So we have to try to figure out a way to bring these two sides into harmony, whether that means getting rid of something, making small changes or large changes, making changes to ourselves, or whatever it means for you. And I'm sure that you can relate this to your personal life. And while I don't just want to make Grandfather Saturn look like this big mean guy in the sky, I'm going to tell you that there is a positive side to Saturn as well. So if you do follow your intuition and take the little hints that the universe is giving you right now, you put in that hard work and determination and discipline in whatever area of life you need to, then really this Saturn and new moon energy that we're experiencing right now could really help you to manifest your goals and your dreams and get that much closer to where you're trying to get in life over the course of this next 6 months. So I think it sounds pretty promising. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. No instant gratification here. Hey guys, I just wanted to take a quick second and say if you are benefiting from this content, if you like this video, please help this channel. Tap the like button below. Leave me a comment with any questions or anything that you have, and also make sure to tap that subscribe button. But enough of that. Sorry to interrupt. Back to the content. Number 4. You might notice a tearing down or restructuring of a certain area or more than one area of your life. Now, you might notice that things seem to be crumbling or falling apart. You might notice that you start to lose interest in certain things, or you might be growing and evolving away from certain people or certain things. You might be losing interest in old hobbies or whatever it might be, not associating with a certain job anymore. This could be millions of different things. I'm just listing a couple possibilities here, but I just want to tell you, this is all happening for a reason, okay? So let's practice detachment and not hold on for your dear life and just allow what's trying to fade out to fade out. Not trying to hold on or make things stay the same way that they are, and just allowing these things to phase out. If something is meant to be for you, I repeat, if something is meant to be for you, it will come back. It always does, okay? And as you can see, this is also happening on our world stage right now. There is a major dismantling of our economy, of many other things, of our country, and even of the world as a whole. So this is a total global thing that's going on. All right, now I want to relate this to a universal law. Now these are spiritual laws that are put in place by the universe, and one of them, the first one, is called the law of correspondence, which reads, as above, so below. This is all about the macrocosm, the bigger picture, and the microcosm, the smaller picture. Now, what I mean by that, putting it in layman's terms, is that what is happening on a grander scale, so the grand scale of the world, okay, is also happening on a smaller scale in each of our individual lives. So it's like a mirror, it's a reflection. And this is also broken down as to what is happening in your outer world as a human being is a direct reflection of what's going on with you inside of yourself. And yeah, that statement right there can really make you think, okay? So if you need to take a couple minutes to ponder on that one, just pause the video. Now, when we make internal shifts, or when we are forced to shift internally through our life experiences or whatever might happen to us, it's inevitable. There has to be an external shift as well. And sometimes this does take a little bit of time to manifest and for everything to structure and be put in place. But this is that restructuring, this dismantling and then restructuring that I'm talking about. And I'm sure you guys have all heard that the phoenix rising from the ashes example, or maybe the tarot card of the tower. All things must be broken down to be rebuilt, right? So if we're desiring in any way, shape, or form to create change or transform our lives in whatever way that might be, first of all, this is something that has to be done on the inside. So we have to really focus on our inner world because we really when we try to make changes in the external world, we don't really have control over that as much as we think that we do. So it has to be done inside first. And what better time to do this than Cancer season, with Cancer ruling the inner world and our emotions. So what you can start doing is just tracking the different thoughts that are running through your mind. Become that inner observer and really hone in on your awareness. You can also check out your belief systems about certain things and see if you might be able to shift your perspective. Take a look at your ego. What areas of your life are you allowing your ego to rule you? And see if you can change. What little changes can you make inside of yourself? And this does take some deep diving. Now, all in all, this tearing down and restructuring thing, this is gonna happen whether you willingly participate in it or you are taken out kicking and screaming, okay? So the only thing you can really do is begin to take a look at the areas of life that are coming into focus for you. And you are the only person that knows what these areas are. So whether it be your relationships or your finances, your job, maybe it's your health or family matters that are going on for you right now. Maybe it's something to do with your friends, or maybe it's like deep subconscious psychological issues that you've been dealing with lately that nobody even knows about. No matter what it might be, let's start to deep dive and take a look at these things. What are your belief systems surrounding these things? Maybe you'll be able to identify some habits or patterns that might be keeping you in loop cycles. You're repeating the same things, causing the same scenarios with different people over and over again in your life. Do some soul searching, see what comes up, see what's deep down inside of your psyche that's just waiting to be discovered. Yes, this is gonna take some hard work on your part, okay? And that's where that Saturn comes in. It's not going to be easy. Feeling through our emotions is never an easy thing. And most of us always run from it. But I promise you, if you put in the work, you will soon reap the benefits. Number 5. We finally made it to number 5. And this one is all about the feel of a pull to go in a different direction in your life. Now, you may not know where, how, what, or anything, but all you know is that a change in direction is definitely on the horizon for you. Want to get to the bottom of this? I do too. So the best thing that we can do right now is eliminate any distractions, okay? So whatever it is in our life that's causing us to be distracted from our damn selves, okay? It's time to eliminate those things. Cancer season is all about nurturing ourselves, self-care, nurturing our families, our immediate surroundings, okay? So anything that is deterring you from doing that, you might want to think twice if you need to keep that in your life right now at this time. Now, Cancer is also an initiation type of energy. So this is also a really good time during this new moon to maybe initiate or start something new, maybe a new project, or even just getting those intentions put down on paper, start goal setting of what you do want to start. This is a great time to do that, you guys. But if you don't know quite what that is yet and you're still kind of in that foggy, unknown stage, don't worry, do not fret. It's totally normal right now as well. And Leo season is right around the corner, and that starts on July 23rd. So what that means is that's gonna light our internal fire. So that brings in a lot of passion and creativity and should really help us get to the bottom of this new direction that we can sense, but we might not be able to completely grasp or see in our physical reality yet at this time. Well, my friends, those are all the must-knows of this second new moon in Cancer in July of 2020. So I hope that this has really helped you to identify some things that might be going on in your life right now, maybe help you to deep dive a little bit further and understand how to better navigate a lot of these hard things that might be coming up for us right now. If you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment box below. I would absolutely love that, and I'll make sure to answer every single one of them. And also make sure to stay tuned because my next moon video will be all about the full moon in Aquarius, which is happening on August 3rd. As always, if you guys benefited from this content, please make sure to tap that like button below, as well as hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and thank you so much for tuning in once again. I hope you like this new content, and namaste. Peace.